So they hear the door shut. Hey, come on running. I'm telling you, it's funny. I got some compost to throw out, and I've also got some vegetable soup. I'm gonna give them and let them eat it, so let me go ahead and dump it. Yum yum, eat them up. So while they're tearing that vegetable soup out the frame, I'm gonna get some compost in the ground. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the basil out, and it's so dry down to about right here and here on that bush. It's pretty much gone, but the crazy thing is that mint is still going in there. Mint is doing great. So I should have some more mint again this year. That's gonna be nice. I'm gonna certainly appreciate that. But the chickens are still going on their stuff over here. See, here's how bone dry the basil was. I mean, see, this stuff is just laughable. It's I mean, really dry. That basil's gone. But you can see the oregano acts like it's wanting to come back in there. So I'm kind of thinking we'll leave that alone and just kind of let it go. But just in case, I did get some more oregano seeds. I want to try it again this year. See, at least try to see how my oregano does. But anyway, I guess we'll see. Alright, we're going to talk about chicken's health for a second. Hold on there, chicken. As far as what you want to look at, it'll kind of let you know a lot about your chicken is. Look at their comb, which is in the top of their head, and their wattle, which is up under here. Right here's their wattle. And their ears, the little red spots on the side of their heads. You can kind of tell how healthy they are or not. If it's kind of a bland, pinkish kind of color, their health isn't all that good. Now during the summertime, that can mean they're kind of dehydrated. During the winter time, it can mean they're too cold. And the first places you're going to see like frost nip or frostbite show up on a chicken is in that comb or in that wattle. So those are two things you're going to want to look at. Make sure their eyes look nice and healthy and bright, and that they're just not listless. The other thing is you can take their legs and feel how the skin feels on that thing. If it's hard or anything, that's not a good sign. All right, chickens, hold on, let's down. That's not a good sign. So just by looking at your chicken, you ought to be able to tell whether they're healthy or not. If they start getting that pinkish kind of look instead of that bright red color that you need to be seeing, then if it's during the summertime, it could be due to dehydration. So you just want to make sure you give them plenty of fluids. And like I said before, they have the Gatorade for chickens. If you look on our website at colefamilyfarms.com, you'll see that recipe for that Gatorade mix for them. And during the winter time, if it's that pale pinkish kind of color, they're probably too cold. So, which is going to take a lot to get a chicken cold, honestly, a lot. There's plenty of chickens that live in the Northeast that stay in the really cold temperatures all the time and are just fine. So, just by generally looking at your chickens, you should be able to tell. But if you want to be able to look at them and know, that's the things to look at. Look at that wattle, look at that comb, and see how that thing looks. Man, that should tell you a lot about the health of your chicken. So that's just an FYI. Okay, the next thing I'm going to end up planting over here, because I showed you before, I've got, see the radishes are coming up? I got the radishes growing, which is great. And since I've already got a root vegetable in there, what I'm going to do with this other part right over here is I'm going to go ahead and get some carrots planted. So that's the next deal. We'll get the carrots going and we'll see how they do. So there we go. Alright. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get these carrots planted. Not time to do it. So, and this soil in here is nice and rich. We can take this and throw it in another bed and get that out of the way. You know, the hardest thing to do with carrots is plant them because the seeds are so darn small, and you don't want them growing right on top of each other because they take up the space and the nutrients that the other carrots need. So the biggest thing is once you get them to start growing is to come back in here and thin them out just to make sure they don't kind of overcrowd each other. So let's get us some rows of carrots going here. By the time all the other plants are ready to be planted, this stuff right here will be ready to be harvested. Because it should only take 75 days for this carrot to be ready to be harvested. Not to mention germinate. Germinate should be pretty quickly. Harvesting should only take 75 days. So we're going to kind of see how this thing goes. Let's get some rows going here. Also, just kind of keep in mind that these are root vegetables, so you really don't want hard earth or hard dirt for them to have to go through. It's gonna make it a whole lot worse on them, and then they're going to end up growing funky shapes and all that mess. So let's just kind of get us our rows going here. Tell you what though, it's been so daggone overcast here in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. It's just been miserable. But, you know, I guess that's part of the whole winter thing anyway. So, those of you who like winter, congratulations. You got the misery part of it down. It's just the weather. The weather's kind of had kind of a warm winter. You probably could have grown like spring crops all during the winter time this year, because it ain't been a really no bad winter, to be honest. So I mean, you can't complain about that. All right, let's get some carrots going. No. You know, really the hardest thing here is going to be to keep the rabbits out of the carrot tops during the nighttime. That's when they like to scrounge around and kind of do their own thing, you know. It's kind of rough keeping them out of the carrot tops. You really kind of want these carrots kind of shallow. You really don't want them too deep, because you need the carrot tops to get out so they can get the sunlight and fertilize the root. Here. Told you. Keeping them jokers out here is going to be rough. Get on. It's not for you. This is not for you. They see me digging anywhere, they think they got to come in and get all in it. So, now let's just go back. The other thing I was going to tell you was the good thing about leaving that little fine level of that broken down hay right on top of the seeds when you first plant them. If you do that, when you go to water these things down, it keeps the seeds from kind of dispersing or getting picked up above the soil level. So it's just a good thing to do. So anyway, our radishes or Risha's radishes that I planted for her, they're doing good. They're coming up like gangbusters, and hopefully the carrots will too. And like I said, in about 75 days we'll have some carrots to eat. So that's it for the carrots. Okie dokie. Here's the oregano I was talking about. We're gonna go ahead and get it ready. And as far as planting the oregano, a couple of things. This stuff barely needs to be covered at all. If you know, just barely a sprinkling on top of it. The other thing is that you really kind of want sandy soil, because the oregano actually, when it's growing, like in the Mediterranean and all, where it pretty much comes from, well, from Greece pretty much. But where it comes from. It's pretty much in sandy soil on the side of hills and stuff. So you really don't want really a compact soil. You don't want a real rich soil. You want kind of a sandy kind of a soil. Let's just get this stuff in here. That way this year we're going to have some oregano growing. And the oregano will take a while to be ready to harvest actually. I think it's like 90 to 120 days, I think. That's what did it say that on here? No, actually 90 to 200 days to harvest. So I mean, good Lord, yeah, this stuff will take a while for this stuff. All I'm going to do is lightly cover this stuff. You see how small those seeds are? Oh, good Lord. Now I guess the trick is just keeping little misfits out of there. That's really the hard part. Let's see here. Some there. Let's put some right here too. By the way, these two containers, this is what I put all my herbs and stuff in. Which that mint over there on the other side, I'm telling you what, you talk about still growing like gangbusters, that mint is still going crazy. Well, it's not growing great, but it's still growing, which I'm really kind of shocked and surprised at, happily, but. Alright, that's my oregano there. Let's cover this stuff up. And just let this stuff go and see how we do. Alright. Now if we can keep all the chickens out of this stuff long enough, let it get going, it'll be good to go. Come on,